Evolution, where construction meets innovation.
Evolution. Let's build the future together.
Today we're digging into smart cities. It's all about how digital tech is helping build, well, a more sustainable future for our cities.
And we're using a really interesting blog post from Bovolution as our guide for this.
Right, so the plan is basically to pull out the key stuff from that post. What is a smart city? What tech makes it work?
And how does it change getting around, sustainability? We'll look at some real places doing it, and importantly, the challenges involved too.
Exactly. So whether you're prepping for a meeting, just catching up, or honestly just curious about where cities are heading.
We aim to give you that clear, concise picture based on what Bovolution laid out.
Okay, let's jump in. Smart city. What are we actually talking about here? The Bovolution piece describes it as a city using network tech to gather and analyze data across the whole area.
Yeah, it's a big shift, really, moving away from siloed systems towards this interconnected digital web across the city.
And it's becoming more and more critical, isn't it? The article flags these huge global issues, people flocking to cities, pollution, traffic nightmares.
Totally. And they quote that UN stat by 2050, something like 68% of us will live in cities. That's huge. It forces us to think smarter about managing urban life.
For sure. And the post, referencing some 2020 research, really hammers home that smart cities use digital tools, use data to make city services better, use resources way more efficiently.
And just generally improve life for people living there. It touches everything: energy, transport, even waste management.
So what are the key technologies making this happen? The Bovolution article kicks off with the Internet of Things, IoT.
Right, IoT. They position it as pretty central, almost like the city's nervous system.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's all these connected devices, sensors everywhere, smart lights, you name it, constantly feeding back real-time info.
And analyzing it to make things run smoother.
Right.
The article gives this great example from Cassini back in 2017, I think. Sensors in rubbish bins.
Oh.
Yeah, literally telling the council when they're getting full. So instead of just fixed routes, the collection trucks go where they're actually needed.
That's clever. Simple, but really efficient. Saves fuel, time.
Exactly. It's that proactive approach based on real data.
Okay, so after IoT, the next big one is artificial intelligence, AI. We hear about it everywhere, but how does it fit into the smart city puzzle?
Well, if IoT is the nervous system gathering signals, AI is kind of the brain making sense of it all. Bovolution really stresses its role in analyzing all that data and helping make decisions.
Okay, like how?
Think traffic. Machine learning can look at real-time traffic patterns, predict jams before they happen.
And then maybe adjust traffic light timings or suggest alternative routes for public transport?
Precisely. And research they mentioned shows AI can also spot energy usage patterns and figure out ways to optimize consumption across the city.
And the Bovolution post actually points out they have more info on the different kinds of AI if people want to go deeper on that specific topic.
Yeah, which is handy. And that leads nicely into the next piece, big data and data analysis itself.
Right, because without the data, none of this really works, does it? The article makes it clear data is the absolute backbone.
Couldn't agree more. It's the ability to collect these huge amounts of information and analyze it properly that lets cities make smart, evidence-based choices.
Any examples jump out from the post?
Yeah, they mentioned things like combining weather data, live traffic info, even chatter on social media.
Social media?
Really? To sort of spot emerging problems, maybe a burst water main people are tweeting about, or predicting where crowds might gather and then react much faster. They cite some 2021 research on that.
Interesting. And they even offer like a top 10 list of data analysis tools for people who want the practical side.
Yeah, useful stuff.
Okay, so let's switch gears a bit. Mobility, how people move around. The article stresses this is absolutely fundamental in a smart city.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the first thing they dive into is intelligent transportation systems, or ITAS.
Right. This feels like where a lot of the tech we just talked about comes together.
Exactly. ITAS uses that real-time traffic data, vehicles that can talk to each other or the infrastructure, smart traffic lights, all working together to smooth out the traffic flow.
So it's less about reacting to jams and more about preventing them.
That's the idea. And they reference some 2017 research showing that even just tweaking traffic light timing based on live conditions can cut down congestion and travel time significantly.
Okay, then there's autonomous driving. Self-driving cars still feels a bit futuristic to me, but the Bovolution piece sees huge potential here.
Oh, absolutely. It could fundamentally change urban transport, not just convenience, but potentially much better traffic efficiency. Fewer accidents because you remove human error.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they bring up an interesting angle from some 2022 research using autonomous vehicles in shared fleets, like robo-taxis or shared shuttles.
So potentially fewer cars overall.
It's exactly. Reducing individual car ownership, cutting down on traffic, less environmental impact. They even link out to another piece about autonomous vehicles on construction sites, which is a specific application.
Interesting. Then moving to something maybe more immediate electromobility, EVs.
Yeah, that shift is definitely underway. The article frames electrifying transport as a key step towards sustainable mobility.
Because EVs don't pump out exhaust fumes directly in the city, right? Cleaner air.
Precisely. Big impact on urban air quality. But, as they point out, referencing some 2016 work, you need the charging infrastructure to make it easy for people to switch. That's crucial.
True. And they hint at completely new transport ideas when you combine EVs with autonomous tech.
Possibilities start to open up, yeah.
And then finally, under mobility, we can't forget good old public transportation. The article makes sure to highlight its role.
Still absolutely vital for sustainable cities. And digital tools are making it better platforms that integrate buses, trains, bike shares.
Making it seamless to plan a journey using different modes.
Yeah, and providing real-time info. When's the next bus really coming? How full of it? That kind of thing. Based on 2019 research they cite, helps people plan better and encourages them to actually use public transport more.
Okay, so all these mobility changes, how do they specifically connect to making cities greener, more sustainable? Bovolution frames these techs as enablers for that.
Directly. First up, cutting CO2 emissions. Transport is a huge source of greenhouse gases, we know that.
So promoting EVs, making public transport better, that directly tackles CO2.
Significantly. And they also mentioned, based on 2019 research, that even the intelligent traffic systems themselves help cut local energy use by reducing stop-start traffic and idling.
Right, and then there's air quality, which we touched on with EVs.
Yeah, it's a major health issue in cities. So fewer individual cars, cleaner vehicles that directly improve the air people breathe, make cities healthier places to live. That's based on research from 2022 mentioned in the post.
There's also a point about land efficiency, which I found quite interesting.
Me too. It's not the obvious one, but smart mobility could mean we need less space for parking and roads.
How so?
Well, think about it. Autonomous cars, shared mobility, you might need way fewer parking spots. Efficient public transport means maybe fewer lanes needed on roads, less maintenance.
And that frees up land for parks, public spaces.
Exactly. That's the idea from the 2021 research they mentioned. More green space, better quality of life.
And finally, sustainability has a social side too, right?
Absolutely. The article touches on social inclusion. Smart mobility should make transport accessible for everyone.
Regardless of age, ability, income.
Yeah, things like barrier-free options, affordable fares, ensuring mobility doesn't become a barrier for people. That's based on thinking from 2015 they reference. It's about equity.
It's definitely a compelling vision. And the good news, according to Bovolution, is this isn't just theory. They move on to real-world examples.
Yeah, showing it's actually happening. They start with Barcelona.
Yes, Barcelona often comes up. The Post mentions their big sensor network for traffic and infrastructure.
Right. And their big push on cycling, the bike sharing system. They're definitely a pioneer. And the article notes the big Smart City Expo is there again this November.
Good plug. Okay, next example.
Singapore. They call themselves Smart Nation Singapore.
Ambitious.
And they've been working on it for ages, apparently since the 60s in some ways. The Post highlights their advanced traffic management, like a satellite toll system to control flow.
Wow. And autonomous buses, too.
Yeah, they're trialing those, and some 2016 research suggests it's already helped reduce congestion there.
Impressive. And the third one?
Copenhagen. Their big goal is to be the first carbon-neutral capital.
That is ambitious. How are they doing it?
Lots of investment in bike lanes, promoting EVs, and they use smart lighting to save energy, too, according to 2018 research.
Sounds like they're a bit of a test bed, too.
Yeah, the article calls it a laboratory, with hundreds of companies and startups involved in smart city stuff there.
Okay, so these examples are great, but the Bovolution piece is realistic. It acknowledges building these cities isn't easy. There are big challenges.
For sure. It's not flicking a switch. The first major hurdle they discuss is data protection and security.
Makes sense. All this data collection raises huge privacy questions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Who owns the data? How is it used? Is it secure? Cities have a massive responsibility here, as research from 2016 highlighted. They need robust rules, transparency.
But the article suggests it is manageable with the right approach.
Yeah, regulations, guidelines, good strategies, it's solvable, but needs constant attention.
Okay, challenge number 2, money and infrastructure.
Yep, the big one. This stuff costs a lot. The tech, the physical changes needed, it requires serious investment.
So where does the money come from?
Public-private partnerships are key, according to the article. Getting businesses involved. And you need to think long-term systems need to be sustainable, maintainable, not just shiny new toys. That's based on 2016 research as well.
Then there's integrating all the different technologies. That sounds incredibly complex.
It is, getting different systems from different vendors to talk to each other smoothly. It requires common standards, protocols, real collaboration. That's a point from 2019 research.
And you have to work with what's already there, the existing buildings and roads.
Exactly. You can't just rip everything out and start it again, usually. Integration is tricky.
And the final challenge, maybe the most crucial, citizen buy-in.
Totally. The article stresses this heavily. If the people living in the city don't accept or get involved in these changes, they won't succeed.
So cities need to actively involve residents.
Yes, in planning, in implementation, making sure the tech actually meets people's needs and they're comfortable with it. Otherwise, as some 2017 research suggests, even great innovations can get rejected. They even link to another article specifically about acceptance.
Right. So wrapping up, what's the big picture takeaway from the Bovolution post?
I think it's ultimately optimistic. It shows the huge potential of digital tech and smart mobility to make cities, well, better places, more sustainable, more efficient, more livable.
Yeah, it feels like we have the tools now, or are developing them, to really tackle some long-standing urban problems, resource use, pollution, quality of life.
And the examples show it's not just a dream. Cities are making real progress step by step. The article also looks slightly ahead, mentioning things like 5G and quantum computing.
Ah, right. 5G providing that super fast, reliable connection needed for all these devices.
Exactly, the underlying network fabric. And quantum computing, though further out, could potentially crunch complex data, like optimizing citywide energy grids, way faster than we can now.
So even more possibilities opening up down the line.
Definitely. The article concludes by saying these future techs offer new ways forward, but stresses again the importance of the construction and real estate industries, and that collaboration between everyone involved is key.
And they added that little update about the 2024 Smart City Index from Bitkom, didn't they? Highlighting some German cities doing well in public admin.
Yeah, Cologne, Bochum, Dusseldorf, Essen. It shows different places are excelling in different areas, and progress is definitely being made across the board.
It really paints a picture of an ongoing evolution, not a finished product.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as we finish this deep dive, maybe a final thought for our listeners to chew on. Considering how interconnected all these smart city systems are becoming, what kind of unforeseen societal shifts might we expect as they get really deeply embedded in our cities?
Ooh, that's a big question. Thinking beyond just the tech and efficiency, how does it change how we live together?
Something to ponder. Anyway, hopefully this run-through of the Bovolution article gave you a good, quick understanding of smart cities and their potential. Thanks for tuning in.
This was Barcelona.
Where construction meets innovation. Until next time, keep building the future.